Nelly.
Yeah, whores are only allowed to use Lenovo. That's it. If they try to buy an iPhone, the cops show up.
Yeah, she was playing music on like a computer from the library that she took.
It's also funny that she was 19, but like in terms of life, was like 40 years older than you.
And I just lost weight, so I remember sitting in the bed and she was like rubbing my chest, and then she goes like, "Handsome man."
A 19-year-old who was like, "Oh, honey, get over here."
And I'm okay. She stuck. She had to do like she grabbed my dick and then put it in her. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, I just felt that first feeling of ever being in a pussy, even if it sucked.
Sure.
And I just immediately came.
Yeah.
See, now this is a better movie than Twisters.
It is.
This is a movie I'd rather. Tangerine 2.
Sean Baker, hit me up.
Hit up
It's called-
Devin Costa.
I know a thing or two, pal.
Yeah. It's just called The Fat, starring Devin Costa.
The best part of that day is I got an ice cream cone at McDonald's across the street afterwards. I like treated myself after treating myself, but it was just all so tragic.
Like you just ran a marathon.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, I deserve something nice.
Exactly. Like I've been on a strict diet.
Right. I had a similar thing. I couldn't get a whore because I was still religious, but I got the non-whore equivalent, which was an enormous fat woman at a bar. And I did the same thing. Couldn't get hard. Just shoved my pussy in her. Came immediately. And I think I've told this story. I was lying next to her and I lied that I had to drive to San Antonio the next day. So
you couldn't stay.
I was like, I can't. I got to drive to San. I just forgot I have to drive to San Antonio right now.
You're so fat. It reminded me. I got to drive to the fattest city in the United States tomorrow.
Thank you for fucking me. I just remembered I'm buying a bull in San Antonio tomorrow. I forgot. Yeah, she was big. I should have tied a rope around her and just hinched my fucking hand in.
The wire, the rope around a pot roast.
Yeah. No, like a bull rider.
Oh, right.
Put one hand in the air.
Are you guys? Did you guys look into the? Because I heard you guys talking downstairs about like the physics of tornadoes. Did you look into it after you watched the film to figure out how that shit works?
No, all I did was trust the movie, and there's one scene where Glenn Powell goes, "No one knows how tornadoes are really made." Or like, no
Are
one
you
knows.
serious?
He said something like, "No one knows what a tornado even really is."
But
like,
isn't he like a tornado scientist?
like they know how it starts and stuff, but they don't. Hey, listen, according to Twisters, the new blockbuster, no one knows what a tornado is.
Mm-hmm.
No one can figure it out.
Yeah.
No one has a clue, really, in the whole movie.
I'm not kidding, man. I just watched it. I'm not losing my mind. There's a scene where he's driving and he says, "No one knows what a tornado is."
Yeah. What if meteorology is
That's
such
so
a lame
funny.
science that everybody who does it is kind of retarded? They're just like, we got no idea. It spins.
Yes, it's kind of was like that's what he was kind of saying.
You go up to a meteorologist, he's like, it's really fucking cool. It just spins.
It's just like when the wind is really mean wind.
See, God gets really angry because of gay people, so he makes the wind mean.
Yeah, maybe if you met a meteorologist, he's like, "Yeah, man, it's like when you rip a Beyblade,
Yeah.
and it does that."
Yeah.
It's like that's same. God's doing that,
Which
shit.
makes sense if you want to become a scientist and you're like, I want to study like the wind and shit.
Yeah.
I want to become a scientist so I could become the weather app.
You ask a scientist what a tornado is, and he puts a glass of water down at a diner, and he just spins a spoon in it.
Well, you know, Quora dot, like when you type
Quora,
in
yeah.
you type in a question like, "Why does my penis hurt?"
Yeah. Sure.
and then
And then a guy goes, "You have blood cancer."
on Quora.com,
Yeah.
it's always a guy that's like, "I was in the Kandahar Valley for 9 years," because they always list their credentials for some reason
Right.
that has
They're like-
nothing to do with answering the question.
They're like, I was in the Kandahar Valley, brother. I got one of the most fucked up dicks you've ever seen. You got cancer. My dick's like chewed up.
It's microwave.
Yeah. It's
Also on Quora, there's apparently a bunch of could possibly life-changing advice, but you have to pay to see the rest of it, right? You can only ever see the
I've
first.
never paid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
I think people get in a manic state though, and they get worried about. But regardless, there used to be like a FAQ, right? Frequently asked questions, and people would just actually go to the Bible because there is stuff. You know, there's stuff about the channels going through. There's rivers in the oceans. It says, and
that's
how
a verse in Isaiah or whatever.
Yeah, and that's how you know. It's like a guy. They go, how that's how you know God's real, because this man lived in a desert. He never saw an ocean, and God told him that there were rivers that go through the ocean. Meaning that, remember Finding Nemo? Remember when the turtles go on the thing?
Yeah,
And there's
very biblical movie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Marlon was played by a Jew, so it's kind of. He goes, "I've got to find my son, no doubt."